The top Benz sedan shows a big guy can still have a few moves. Let's get into the Mercedes S550 for 2010 and check the tech. Now, the S-Class is kind of a sad little mixed bag of cabin tech. It's one of the best systems in terms of just the quality of the interface and the way it looks. But when you dig down into it, it's missing some stuff. For example, this car doesn't have HD radio yet. Just about every other 09 Mercedes does. This is just late to the game. The navigation system has traffic, of course. They were early on in this stuff, and they do a good job of it. Interestingly, there's no audio option on this car. You just get the audio system. Luckily, it's pretty darn good. It's a Harman Kardon Logic 7, which is synthetic surround, 14 speakers, something like 600 watts, and 7.1 surround compatible, which is pretty impressive. That, of course, would come off of a DVD audio disc. We have a 6-disc changer right here in the console. As you can see, it's pretty straightforward, right above a PC MCIA card slot. You know how I feel about those. And here are audio sources, AM, FM, satellite radio, of course. The CDs can go in here, DVD-As can go in there, DVD videos can go in there. And aux refers to, in this case, the optional iPhone connector, iPod iPhone, which is a dealer-installed accessory, about $400. No USB drive in this car, which is becoming pretty common in a lot of vehicles, especially those that cost near $100,000. You do have aux jacks, however. There's a set of RCAs for stereo audio and video up there in the glove box. Now, the big crowd pleaser in this car is, of course, night view assist. Optional. We've got it in this vehicle. Only works at night, but if you hit the button over here, that entire speedometer turns into a forward-looking night vision camera. I've always found that kind of jarring because adjusting your focal plane from there to out on the road makes me nuts, but some folks must love it. Now, believe it or not, even on a car of this price, the rear view camera is optional, part of a package, and it does give you some information about your trajectory and where you're going. This button takes you to the most complicated seats in a car today. You've got the ability to adjust any number of the components of them. Look at all the various zones that are user addressable in those seats. Then you've got the pulse mode, which is kind of the little, massage thing from slow and gentle to fast and vigorous. That's obscene. And you've got dynamic seats here. Tells you how much the seats will automatically bolster you against lean or dynamics in the car. You put it on 2 there, and it's annoying. You can be turning in a parking lot, and this thing's hanging on to you for dear life. Up here in the engine room, we've got what you'd think we have, a 5.5-liter V8, hence the name S550. No tricks, no turbos, no supercharger, no diesel or hybrid, obviously. Just a good old Mercedes V8. Puts out 382 horsepower, 391 foot-pounds. That's good for a 0 to 60 scoot in 5.4 seconds. Pretty good for a big old fat ass of a car like this. But the mileage is where you suffer. 1422, good enough to qualify you for a $1,000 gas guzzler tax. One transmission in this car, 7-speed automatic. It's a beautiful gearbox. You do have some cheesy plastic paddles up here. The logic on this car is left for downshift, right for upshift, And there's no shiftable stick because all you have is this little dainty stalk. So this is your shifting interface right there. Parking assist system on this car doesn't actually steer anything or take over the wheel. It just tells you what to do. So here I am pulling up alongside a spot, and I've got that square P right there, which is going to turn blue. Okay, that means it's acquired and found a parking spot. And now I just have to match up the lines until they're green, the yellow and the red, and just follow that arc. It's using all of its sensors around the car to see if I'm making the right trajectory and not hitting anything. And bingo, it beeps when I'm going all the way back, and that's it. Now, I must admit, the S-Class always spells old man to me. But on the road, you're reminded that if this is what the old guys are driving, they've still got it going on. A creamy, powerful, quiet ride awaits, with handling and steering that belies this car's size and weight, while making no silly pretensions about being a sports car. Leave that nonsense to the AMG side of the house. I can live without a lot of the styling of this car, from the pontoon front fenders to that swelling potbelly thing in the center of the dash, and the annoying dial pad that hides most of the control knob. I can also pass on the taillights that look like they came off a '94 Mustang. But the cabin is a damn nice place to spend time on the way to some wine auction or whatever you S-Class drivers do when you're not leasing one of these for 4 figures a month.